That's okay. All right, today we got a creative finance deal. So this is a sub 2 deal. Subject to means that you are purchasing a property subject to the existing mortgage, and you're taking over the payments for that underlying loan. You're not assuming that loan, you're taking over the payments, right? Very big difference. So just be careful of this. And this is an FHA loan. Sometimes you might have folks that, or title companies that will not perform the close, and you might have to self-perform the close. Just be a little bit careful. I would definitely get a transaction coordinator or sometimes even an attorney. Again, this is not legal advice. Not soliciting any investments on this live, nor is this investment advice. All right. So today, 1880 North Parkside Lane, Casa Grande, Arizona. Let's see if we look this up properly real quick. The loan that's underlying the property is FHA loan at 3.875% interest rate. The balance on the loan is $307,680. The PITI is $2,071. Okay. HOA 54, solar another $189 a month. So your total payment is $23.14. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you how to quickly put this out so that you don't spend too much time analyzing a deal, but we'll walk it all the way out just so you guys can see the entire process from beginning to end. All right, so for this property, let's quickly look at it. Let's see, we see the condition of the property. Flooring looks okay. I'll probably just set aside some money to paint the place. So freshen up, there's a pool. Is there carpet? I can't tell, is that carpet? No, that's not carpet. Can't tell if there's carpet in that room either. So maybe I'll just assume there's a little bit of money to paint the place. All right. So let's find out what county we're in. This is Pinal County. So the first thing you want to do in order to rule out the property for Section 8 is you want to see what is the rent ceiling. Whoops. Excuse me. You want to go HUD FMR, access small area FMR. That was like just by county. So you go to Pinal County. Now you're going to get the rent ceiling by zip code, by bedroom count. 85122. 85122. Your 3-bed is 2150. Okay. 2150. Your 4-bed is 2450. 2450. And this is 85122. 85122. 85122. This is a 3-bed. Cool. Now that I have the rent ceiling for both rents, for the property, I can go to affordablehousing.com, go to the owner section, go to the market rent estimator, plug in the address, plug in the bedroom count, and boom. Right here, you will see the most important number here. That's this number on the bottom right. It says that for 25 units within a 0.45 mile radius, the average rent for these 25 units is $19.14 for a 3-bedroom property. So let's write that one down. 1914. Let's go up. 1807, 1742, and lastly 1742. And that was within a 0.45 mile radius. So that gives me a pretty high confidence that there's enough volume within a half-mile radius to do it. Now, just out of curiosity, I'll look at the rents for a 4-bedroom. And you can see that the rents for a 4-bedroom did not go up. So this tells me that is not worth the investment to turn this property into a 4-bedroom because we did not see a lift in the average rent for this property. So there's no way to get a little bit more creative here, such as turning a garage into a bedroom so that we can rent it out as a 4-bedroom because the market rent doesn't support it. Even though your rent ceiling is going up to $24.50, because of the rent reasonableness test, which states that you cannot charge more rent to a voucher holder simply because they're a voucher holder. Technical language is usually you cannot charge more rent to for your unit compared to an unassisted unit. So based off of that, it's not worth turning it into a 4-bedroom. So for me right away, I'm going to look at one, the PITI or the whole payments if there's other stuff such as HOA and solar. And when you compare that for the 2314 to what your maximum rent is that I'm going to use underwrite at 1914. I'll probably use 1950 just to keep it round. That's going to tell me you're going to lose $400 or $350 roughly of cash flow every single month just before even any expenses. But that's usually where I will probably stop analyzing the deal. But for today's purposes, I'll walk it all the way out so you guys can see why I have this sort of rule of thumb and how do I quickly realize that this is not worth my time analyzing further. Now, let's go ahead and plug in the purchase. Is there a purchase price? 307,680. All right. 307,680. 307,680. This is a 3.875% interest rate. I'll put this up. And for those of you that want to watch the full screen, just go to youtube.com/@Kent_HE. All right. So you have a total payment of $23.14. So I'm going to come here to the property tax equals $23.14. And I'm going to subtract the principal and subtract the interest payment portion of the subject to loan. The reason I don't need to care about getting it exactly correct is because the wholesaler already disclosed to me what is the exact number I care about, which is this number. Now, you might not have the payment or the exact payment for the HOA or the solar, but because you have the whole number, that kind of bounces, you're backing into what the net amount is for insurance and for property taxes, right? I'll probably add another $30 because I'm assuming that the insurance payment right now as part of the escrow amount relates to a primary residence property. So someone's probably living there. So in order for me to assume that the property is going to become a rental property, typically your insurance premium for a rental property is going to be higher when you compare that to a primary residence property. All right. So I'm going to add an extra $30 there. So right now, let's see, this property was 2178 square feet. I'm going to go to my rehab calculator really quick. I got probably replacing 2 toilets with a high pressure flush toilet. I'm not going to go too in depth. I'm going to set aside some money to paint the entire place. So 2178. So that's enough money for $3 a square foot to paint that place. I'm assuming there's no flooring work to be done. I'll set aside $500 for landscaping and another $1,500 for repairing the roof in case there's any issues. And all my properties that I bought in the past, there's always some sort of patching or roof issues that we have to do. Okay. Now, let's see. What's the entry fee? There's entry fee is $34,500. That includes cash to seller sign fee and agent commission, $34,500. I got 2.5% closing costs right here. And my current renovations right now is $11,000 roughly. Just setting that aside. And my purchase price is, I'm just going to do equals to my mortgage balance plus my assignment fee. Just going to put that in there. It doesn't really matter because at this point in time, your goal is to figure out whether or not it's worth your time to send a contractor out there specifically for this property. Okay. Now, when you walk it all the way out, you have your rent at $1,950. You got all your expenses. You got 10% for maintenance. You got 10% for property management. You got 5% for vacancy. You are now a negative $881 cash flow. At 3-bedroom, your rent is $1,950. Assuming everything else holds constant, you are a negative $881 cash flow. That results in a negative 19.5% cash on cash return. That's assuming your purchase price was $342,000 and your rehab was roughly around $11,000, just using round numbers. 25%. There's no down payment. I mean, it's just your entry fee, and then your interest is 3.875 on that loan. And because usually we go through different scenarios, in this scenario, you can't even go for a higher bedroom count because we saw the dip go from 1914 to 1853. So this market does not sustain or support increased rents for a 4-bedroom when you compare that to a 3-bedroom. Interesting, right? So that's how you can understand how every market is different. Now, could you do market rent? No, because this already gives you the market rent. Sometimes you might see that, hey, the rent ceiling for a Section 8 property, which is, I think what the property we analyzed yesterday was $1,400, and we saw that the market rent was $1,800. In that scenario, you might say, let's turn this into a market rent property instead of a Section 8 property, because there's such a significant difference in market rent when you compare to what the housing authority is willing to pay. So that's it for today. So you can probably tell why we decided to rule out the property. As soon as we got these details and we saw that 2314 was in place, we looked at the HUD FMR, which is the rent ceiling, 35122, and we saw the market rents for a 3 or 4 bedroom, and they were all lower than the PITI. In that scenario, that's where I would probably stop analyzing the deal. Make sense? All right. So that's all I wanted to cover for today. Today is Sunday. I hope you guys are able to spend some quality time with your family and friends today. I know I'm about to take my daughter out to the lake. So this is going to be fun. It's going to be a great Sunday. I hope you all are able to copy my homework for today, put it on your own YouTube channel, and that will help you develop the confidence and the track record for yourself to be willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. That's why I do this every single day. Just remember, all it takes is 18 minutes a day, every single day. And if you do that for 1 year in a row, I'm already on day 190. You can just copy my homework and you'll be halfway there. That's it. 18 minutes a day for 1 year, and you'll be better at underwriting deals than 95% of the country. So that's why I do this. This is why I hope to inspire all of you to create your own YouTube channel, put all these analysis on your own YouTube channel so that, hey, let's say a partner asks you, why do you think this is a deal? Well, you can point them to your own YouTube channel at that point in time and say, I know this is a deal because, well, look at my YouTube channel. I've looked at the past 190 deals and they were all not deals. Sometimes learning how to spot what's not a deal is a very important skill. Sometimes learning how to figure out that something is not a deal so you don't spend time over analyzing a deal. And that's how you can avoid burnout. Burnout typically comes from you analyzing deals or doing a ton of work without any sort of return on your time or your effort. This is why I do this. All right. Thank you so much for caring about affordable housing. I'll be back here again tomorrow for day 191. Have an amazing day, everybody.